on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The financial markets were spooked today by President Trump's tariffs, the Dow finishing down more than 1,600 points. The president, leaving the White House for Florida, insisted it will pass.
The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see is there any way they can make a deal.
CBS's Nancy Cortez at the White House.
After today's losses, the stock market has dropped by about 10% since he took office about 2.5 months ago. This is the kind of thing that he predicted would happen when he was on the campaign trail if Kamala Harris were to win. It's one of the worst starts for any president in the modern era.
CBS's Jolene Kent has been talking to small business owners.
So many small businesses feel this sense of anxiety and worry about the future. They've already been struggling when it comes to persistent inflation, high interest rates to borrow money so you can build out your business, and the ongoing softening of consumer confidence, consumer sentiment overall. So that's what they're already facing, plus that uncertainty about tariffs.
The White House has fired some senior National Security Council members, as Linda Kenyon reports.
The firings come one day after far-right activist Laura Loomer met with President Trump in the Oval Office. She presented research on staffers she deemed insufficiently committed to the president's agenda. Joining that meeting was Vice President J.D. Vance, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and National Security Advisor Mark Waltz. Waltz has been under scrutiny after setting up a text chain ahead of a U.S. military action using the publicly available Pinole app and for using a Gmail account for official business.
The acting Pentagon Inspector General will now be investigating Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's use of that signal chat to discuss the airstrikes in Yemen. Gaza health officials say as many as 30 people were killed today in an airstrike at a school where Palestinians were sheltering. It prompted angry protests in Tel Aviv. Reporter Linda Gradstein has more from Jerusalem.
The Israeli army said it hit a Hamas command and control center in Gaza City and that it took steps to protect Palestinian civilians. Hamas said most of the dead were women and children and blamed Israel for indiscriminate attacks. The attacks are part of a stepped-up Israeli offensive against Hamas in Gaza.
Meteorologist Grant Gilmore is following the severe weather still impacting the nation's midsection.
We have 33.1 million people currently underneath the threat for flooding.
At least 5 people died in the severe weather on Wednesday. This is CBS News.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that.